Hello again, welcome to our geometry videos. Here we are in Unit 2, number 35. We're getting into a little bit of probability. We had seen probability before when we were working with the shapes, and the shape bucket, and figuring out, pulling a particular shape out of the bucket, and this probability had a set of congruent sides, or a set of parallel sides, or right angle. And so here's a little bit more maybe numeric probability. So we have problem number 35. We have Miss Shreve or Shreve, I don't know. She randomly selects a student in her class. She has a 1/3 probability of selecting a boy. If her class, this should be A, this should be B, this should be C, this should be D. I'm going to fire another editor again. Okay. So, if her class has 36 students, how many boys are in her class? So, 1/3 probability of selecting a boy, so that means a third of the class are boys. So if there's 36 students in her class, and you divide that by 3, that means it's broken into 12, 12, and 12. We're going by thirds. So there are 12 boys in her class. Now we're going to assume that each of these situations are independent of each other because it kind of changes, because the next part says, well, if there are 11 boys in her class, so we're going to assume that this is completely different, maybe it's like a different period of the day, who knows. But we're going to say that in part B, it's a different class than the one that had 36 students. So if there are 11 boys in her class, how many girls are in her class? So 11 boys represent 1/3 of the population, because it says she has probability, a 1/3 probability of selecting a boy. So if the 11 boys are 1/3, then we can add another 11 for 2/3, and another 11 to finally get 3/3 for all the people in the class. And 11 plus 11 plus 11 is 33. So there are 33 students in this particular class. Part C, what is the probability that she will select a girl? Well, if 1/3 of the class is boys, then the other 2/3 of the class has to be a girl. Assuming that there are only boys and girls in your class, and there's like no monkeys or anything, or spiders or something hanging around. So we gotta assume that there's only boys and girls. So 1/3 is boys, 2/3 are girls. Part D, assume that her class has a total of 24 students. She selected one student who was a boy to attend a field trip, and then was told she needed to select one more student to attend. What is the probability the second student randomly selected will also be a boy? Okay, so we got 24 students. We know that 1/3 of them are boys, so 1/3 of 24 is 8. So there are 8 boys. One of those boys was selected. So now, out of the pool that's left, there's 23 students, and only 7 of them are boys. So when it says, what is the probability the second randomly selected student will also be a boy, that's 7 out of 23 is probability. I don't know what that is as a percentage. That doesn't reduce nicely. We'd have to calculate that out. 7 divided by 23, so that ends up being somewhere around 30.43%. So a little less than the 1/3 probability of before. So this is a kind of a tricky concept. A lot of people have dealing with probability, in that when you take an item away, that changes the probability of the situation most times. So here we started with 8 boys out of 24 students, but then all of a sudden now we're up to 7 boys out of 23 students. It changes the probability. It's no longer 1/3 anymore. If you have any questions about this probability, feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, you're always welcome to like, subscribe, or share our videos.